Hello, everyone. Welcome to May 15 Zeam call. We will continue discussing uh, debugging runs for DevNet 4 and DevNet 5 preparation as we go along, taking updates from everyone. So let's start by Anshul on DevNet 5.
Yeah, so on DevNet 5, like I have a spec PR. Uh, it is functionally ready, but I am still facing some issues while running it on CI. So the issue is that there's one test in which all the in which the block actual block building uh, and verification happens. So the fixture, it is one of those fill fixture tests. It doesn't fail, but it takes too long to run on the CI. Even locally, it took me like 2 minutes, but on CI it takes like 20-30 minutes to run. And I had to like decrease the number of max attestations, so I brought it down from 16 to 8, which was anyways our target. So that improved a little. So earlier I it used to take like 15 minutes on my local machine. Now it has come down to like 7-8 minutes, which is considerable improvement. But I think the bottleneck there is the RAM, because uh, the CI build uses quite less RAM, plus the default configuration on which we run those fill fixture tests has a Linux machine, and it's like significantly slower on Linux machines as compared to Mac. I think the default configuration of Mac runners, GitHub Action runners, gives us like 14 GB of RAM, but the default of Linux gives only 7 GB. So that is also something that is creating an issue. So locally, I can see like I am able to aggregate even type 2 signatures within 2-3 seconds at max. Like it takes like 10-12 seconds, but still it's taking quite some time. And I think it's a memory issue, because when I try to run it parallelly, then it is in fact slower if I do like a single process run. So that's why I suspect that it's related to memory. uh, I plan, like I have some ideas to improve it. One of them was like decreasing the max attestations with decrease the time, but it still takes like 2 hours and it is yet to complete it, which is anyways not something that we would want to do on a spec side. Another thing that I can do is maybe I can set even lower max attestations for test suite, or I can like move it from Linux. So right now we generate these fixtures on Linux GitHub runner. I can change it to Mac OS. That is one thing, but I think like it is not. I think it is good if we can move to like a more heavier machine on the CI side as well.
So how do we move to a heavier machine on CI?
So GitHub does provide some plans. I haven't explored it, but if we can do that, then I can see how we can, like there are some preferred plans using which we can move to like a heavier machine, but I haven't gone through that.
So Lean Ethereum repo needs to get these plans, right?
Yeah.
So I guess you can suggest it to Toma. And in
Okay.
the meantime, if lower max attestation works, that is fine as well, right?
Yeah.
For for this CI configuration, right? So
Mhm.
if we can have max attestations as part of config variable, I think that would be better. And if is this a part of config variable?
Yeah,
Config
it is part
variable.
of config variable, but I think some of the test cases might fail if I decrease it further down, but I'll check it out locally, because local runs are still significantly faster, so it won't take much time.
So is it about not uh, the runs are failing or just runs are taking more time?
The runs are taking a lot of time.
Okay, I guess with Toma, you can basically figure this out, but as such, PR is ready.
Yeah.
Okay, if the PR is ready, Kai, can we start the implementation for that?
Yes.
All right, cool. Let's do DevNet 5 implementation, and yeah, in the meantime, I'm sure you can resolve the issues that are coming around it
Yeah.
in the
I did
spec.
like quite some benchmarking on the aggregation side because I thought like that is the culprit, and it was the culprit if we increase the max attestations to 16. So if I try to fold like 16 attestations into one block, so merging that takes like quite some time, about 2 to 3 minutes. So that's why I decreased it to 8, because it is along the target that we had initially aimed for, and that is something that is already being used on the beacon chain as well. So I think that is fine. But if I decrease it further down, then I think I'll just do it for the test.
Mm, got it.
Yeah. Apart from that, like I have raised a PR for to remove like scheduling of gossip network calls on the libxcv thread. So uh, I think Partha has already reviewed it and he has put some minor comments there, so I'll address them. Uh, Also, like I noticed that Guillaume has also reviewed my caching PR. He has also suggested some changes, so I have like worked on some of them. Some of them are still pending. So yeah, I'll continue doing that.
Okay, can you, Partha and Kai, sort of collate a performance-related issue where all the to-dos, we can put all the to-dos over there and crunch them one by one?
Sure.
Sure.
Because I feel that the performance still needs to go up. Partha, have we started running multi-threaded workers or not?
Yes, we have. So, I mean, if Anshul is done, I can probably give my comment because
Yeah.
they're probably related. So,
Yeah.
after spoke to you, Gajendra, I ran, what do you say, 4 DevNet, with 128 machines, and with each, it's a homogeneous subnet with 4 clients. From what I noticed, I just wanted to understand, and all of the observations and issues that were identified in this subnet run has been logged in issue number 863, and based on which I have also created few PRs which have been added and merged right now. Well, there's one outstanding. One question I had for you, Gajinder, is that when we had a discussion a few weeks ago, you mentioned that you wanted a configuration parameter where you could specify the list of subnets a particular client can aggregate to, but it has to only do the attestation, or rather listen to attestations from other subnets, but it should only gossip to its own subnet, right? Uh, is there a reason behind this topology? What was your reasoning behind it? The reason I'm asking you is that this is leading to a problem with the Zeam when it's functioning as an aggregator. Uh, when I saw Zeam client as an aggregator was listening to over 54 clients, or peering with 54 clients for aggregation, which resulted in severe degradation of the process, which I'm slowly trying to address. But most of it were due to a long block on the gossip thread, where it's not able to find the block, and it requests each block as blocks by root, which is failing. So I've also added in my latest PR blocks by range if possible, and a few other minor validations where it skips at the very top instead of waiting and doing it later. But a
So
easy fix.
why these requests are not happening on a separate thread? I mean, why are they happening on the main thread? Why can't we, whenever we are requesting data, it should happen on a separate thread, right?
So that is the change that 886, I mean, the PR that I had written yesterday is doing. It delegates part of the work to a separate thread, and the main thread is used only for, I mean, or rather, the libxev thread is the main one. So some improvements are there being done there, but I wanted to understand the topology. Why, when it is sufficient for an aggregation to happen on one subnet alone, what was the need for us to listen to multiple subnets? I mean, specifically for the aggregator.
So I can be a super aggregator, right? I can say that I can aggregate. I have a big heavy machine and I can aggregate three
Okay.
subnets, four subnets. I can aggregate all of them, right? So there will be such kind of machines in the network which will,
Okay.
like, like in PDAS, we have super nodes already there, right? So which are helping the
Okay.
network juggle. And that is what my assumption is, that this will happen. And
Okay.
it's a good thing that aggregator is not bound by the validators that are attached to it. There could be no validators at all. You can just
Right.
purely run an aggregator by as an totally intrusive thing.
Okay. So I think then the
So
problem
we can limit the number
running
of.
in aggregate. Sorry, Anshul.
Yeah, I was
I,
saying
I was
that can we
thinking,
limit the number of uh, subnets that we listen to as an
yeah.
aggregator?
That was my question. So I
So
think because I'm running on
that
a,
should be machine dependent, right? So if your machine can take it, then you will put on a high number. Question is that if we have a higher machine, can we still solve the problem, right? Can we still be an aggregator? It should not. Basically, it should. So your aggregator role should scale with the machine slash number of cores slash
correct.
memory that you have. And if that
Yeah.
is not happening, then it's a problem. That means that there is some other bottleneck that we need to figure out.
Yeah.
But if it's scaling, then you will probably decide on the basis of machine how many subnets you want to aggregate.
So that's fine. So I'll what I'll do is right now what the Lean Quick Start does is by default it subscribes all aggregators to all subnets, but we are running on a 8 core 16 gig
But we
machine.
decided that it will be one subnet per aggregator, right? So why are we
Yeah.
subscribing one aggregator to all subnets?
No, when I say listening, not so the aggregator alone listens to aggregations from other
No,
subnets as
it
well.
should not. It should not do
It
that,
should not.
right? It is only as a power or super aggregator that will do that. But
Right. So
this
that
is not
that
what we want to test. We want to test one aggregator per subnet, not one aggregator listening to and aggregating all the subnets.
Right. So that was the configuration change which I've corrected right now. But regardless of that, we are having issues when one Zeam client functioning as an aggregator listens to over 50 or 60 peers and starts receiving, I mean, gossip related stuff. So probably for now, it makes sense for us to limit the number of peers a particular node can receive subscription to. Is that something you want to do? Because otherwise the aggregator clock starts to fall behind. Until we resolve that problem, we should add
So
some kind of a limit.
no, the limit is something that you configure, right? So there is no limit to be added as such.
Now, I've noticed on beacon clients they have max gossip clients kind of a parameter, right? They don't peer for more than 30 clients or something of that sort.
But we don't have so many clients. This is very small number, but I essentially get what you are saying. We should have target peers, but their target peers run in 200s, for example, right? So that is the target
Okay.
that we want to have, and this is such a small target as of now, but eventually, yes,
Okay.
about
So what I'll
200
do is
for.
I'll make the change on Lean Quick Start to ensure each subnet, I mean, each aggregator listens only to its own subnet and not others.
Yeah,
And
by
there is
default,
also the other, yeah.
by default, just make this change, and if someone wants to test their multi-aggregator functionality, because we do want to test it, so we can basically edit it locally and test it out.
Okay.
Yeah,
And can I
right.
also have a review on PR886, which is I've introduced a few new metrics parameters just to determine what is causing delay, because I noticed in few cases the main thread was blocked for nearly I think up to 1 or 2 minutes. So I need to understand where the lock is, or what's causing that delay. So if we can figure that out in the next long run, we'll be able to make further changes and improve the performance.
So I did review it and it looks fine to me. I mean, as such on a high level. So if someone wants to give a deeper review and approve it, is fine.
Okay, sounds good. So Anshul or Kai, if you can please have a look at that and let me know. If you are happy, I'll merge this and then we can run our DevNet again with the corrections, configuration corrections, and then we should have better view of what's going on. Yeah, that's me. No further points.
Right. And so with these, if you think that there are new metrics that you introduce and they should be upstream, so that is another thing that we are always looking for, what is that we can add to the spec, right? In terms
Yeah.
of metrics as well. So do that, and as well as for my for the PR that I got through zclause log attestation subnet coverage, I think the metrics that would be there as well. So I asked it to add metrics for all those things, and for all the coverage labels that I added, that I got it to add, and once it does that, I don't know, it has processed my command, but I have asked Mubu to see why it is not processing, why zclause is not automatically processing the command, because it is supposed to pick up, run a run a poll, and every now and then basically process all the commands that are being made on the zclause PR, or basically anything that is addressed to zclaw. So that needs to be checked.
Yeah.
Or did you manually ask zclaw to basically apply the changes, Partha? Because from the comments, it seems like it processed it.
I did ask it for a couple of PRs, but the latest one, I don't know. I think you're referring to 876, right?
Yes, 876.
Yeah, that it has done. I manually asked it to do it. But the latest one that you requested, it is not done that yet.
It has not done because, I mean, the poll is not working, I guess. So
Yeah.
I have asked you to check why the poll is
Okay.
not working anymore. Okay, all right. And what is the plan to go to 128 validators? I want to see that very fast. I mean, I want to see us doing at least few runs before next week's call.
So I have one with 64 validators right now. I requested an increase in quota, which Hetzner has honored. I just need to provision the machines right now, prepare it for it, and then I can start scaling up. I can do that over the weekend, or before next call, we should have something ready.
And with regard to, so this is Ansible. So people are trying to come up with tooling to run on the same machine. Is our local tooling not working?
No,
Is
it
my
is
question.
working. It is. You can use the Lean Quick Start even with local tooling for running multiple subnets. I don't know why they prefer the latest one that I did parallelizes the deployment as well, but I don't know why they prefer, uh, I mean, Kubernetes or something else rather than this. So
Yeah, Kubernetes on, I mean, Kubernetes and Kotos they don't really make sense to me at all. So I don't know what's going on over there. Maybe they have free time or free funds on their hand to chase after something that is already there and have no utility, but let's see. Okay, so if they come up with the better tooling, we don't mind. We will definitely use whatever is the best in the ecosystem. And so we do encourage, but it should be definitely better than the tooling that we have, right?
yeah.
Not just a pure replica of it. Okay, let's go to Kai.
Last week, first I raised the PR, move the aggregation uh, from libxcv thread to the chain work thread. Yeah, so it seems much time cost when I do some micro benchmark. Uh, and in that PR, I also changed some configuration about the uh, Z thread pool uh, thread numbers. So because the the aggregate FFI library, which uh, uh, because it's developed in Rust, it already used the Rust array on thread pool. So right now we have double times thread numbers. So in that PR, I just separate and reduce some thread numbers. So, but I'm not sure is it better. So maybe when Pasa testing in the dev night, maybe we need observe some metrics. Maybe further we can change in that configuration further.
So, Bhargav, what exactly is the configuration change that Kai is talking about?
Right now, there is not there is a not configuration. Right now the Z thread pool number is used CPU the machine CPU number minus minus 3. Yes. So because we have one libxcv thread and one Rust libp network thread and one chain 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 work.
Chain worker. Yeah.
Yeah. So so I just change the reduce the numbers for the uh, Z thread pool and also set uh, set array on Rust thread numbers. So right now we the all thread numbers maybe totally equal the CPU number.
So I don't think we need to so fine-grained control it. So wherever you need threads, at least span the amount of cores or CPUs that we have, because even if you span more threads than the number of CPUs that you have, basically CPUs will automatically schedule it properly so that you should be able to get more likely the amount of whatever is the free CPU efficiency that is out there. So you should be able to squeeze it out. So I'm not sure whether
Yes.
doing, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe we so pass up maybe you can change it. You can change it that maybe change back so you can observe the running
Yeah.
yeah in the test net in the DevNet. Yeah.
Sure.
So
So I haven't yet run after your PR was merged. So if there is regression, I'll probably revert your changes and then go back to what we were using before, and then see where we are.
okay.
So what I understand, we were not using any threading in the chain workers, right? It was
That's right.
just a
There was
single.
just a single yeah, there was a single chain worker.
So it should, at least now, if there are multiple threads, it should be better than the last time, right?
It should, yeah.
And yeah, so I think instead of trying to, do num CPU -3 or something like that, just span equal to num CPU threads, and the operating system is supposed to take care of it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so run with Kai's changes, and if there is improvement, again run with num CPU threads everywhere, and
Yeah.
there shouldn't be much degradation. If there is no degradation, then it means there is degradation or hopefully improvement. And so let's just keep things simple and not try to have fine grained control over a number of threads that we span. Just blindly span according to blindly span as per num CPUs that you have anywhere that you need it. Even if your total thread pool might exceed 2 or 3 or 10 times the number of CPUs, it does not actually matter.
Sure.
Yes. Other, and I raised three PRs for fix the Hive test failed cases. I already tested them in my local, so if you can approve it.
So Partha, are you looking into them as
Yeah,
well?
yeah. I'm looking at the Hive related one. I mean, finish the review after this call, and then we can merge that, Kai.
Yeah, I was
Cool.
also looking into that. So, Kai, in that we have mentioned we have tags like cache is equals to false for a lot of Rust
Yes,
stuff. Do we
yes, that
need it?
yes. I also asked Zclaw why it add that in CI in YAM. I think it already it have a comment. I will send you to.
Okay. Can we try changing it and see if the CI works fine?
Okay. Yes, maybe it's not. Uh, maybe it's not needed. It
Yeah.
seems just optimization.
So,
All right.
Kai, sorry, Kai, question is how do you interact with Zcloud via DMs? Do you specify the model which should be used?
No, no. I just raise some issues and give some information to it in the issue description.
Okay. Uh, because you can specify which model Zclaw should use in order for you. I mean, for different tasks, you can use different models. So, for example, if you wanted to work with Opus, you can specify /model and then ask it to work with that particular model. Nupur sent me. I'm not sure if she shared with the group. I'll share that as well. You can. I mean, we can't do it in the group, but if you want, I'll forward what her message was to you.
Oh yeah, that's good.
So we
Please.
can do it in the group. I mean, it does not stop us from sharing in the group. Apart from that, ask Nupur if the same thing works in issues/comments as well, because I think that could just directly be for uh, Telegram prompts. So ask Nupur if the same thing works even for description issues
Okay.
uh, and comments. And if not, basically ask her to configure it so that it works
Okay.
here as
I'll
well.
do that.
But I think yes, even if you have made an issue, you can just ask on Telegram to process it through a particular model. Then it will directly do that. If until the point where we also get it working directly through issue itself. But yes, I think there is nothing hidden, so we can publicly post in and pin it as well. I guess in Zclaw channel itself, we can post and pin it,
Okay. I'll do that then.
or in main. Both work fine.
I think Zclaw is better. I mean, that's fine. I mean, either thing is okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, whatever is most handy for everyone is okay. All right, coming to my update, I have been again reviewing PRs. I was also doing some beam runs, and I did a PR. Asked Zcloud to do a PR to add some to show some aggregate coverage reports, and probably also add metrics for it. And hopefully, then we can upstream those metrics to lean spec. And I will basically continue running Zeam to Zeam node, Zeam to Zeam network, and figure out what is going on, and if there is anything that is something that we need to fix, or we need to put out more information in our logs, and we'll continue debugging. I, I will also look at DevNet 5 PR that Anshul made, and uh, go through it and see if we are all on the same page regarding the DevNet 5 and how we are doing a single block signature and reusing it again. So with all these things, I think we are at a good point. We just need to keep improving the performance of Zeam aggregator and make sure that none of things happen on hot paths. So for example, even though we start the aggregator right on the particular interval, then we need to make sure that aggregator is running within a particular timeout and is running on a separate thread and not libxev thread. So this is something that we need to also make sure. So I'm not sure whether this has already been addressed or not.
I'll look into it after the current PR is merged. Just validate whether it's working as per your expectation.
Or also put a chain worker on it. I don't know, because we can also do parallel aggregations, right? We can do a tree kind of
Yeah.
an aggregation.
Yeah.
So Anshul,
Will
can you look into this as well to optimize
Yeah.
the aggregation further?
Yeah,
And
so I have plans to do that, and I want to like revisit the whole uh, threading architecture. I was just busy with the DevNet 5 PR. It took more time than I had expected. Also, like I wanted to add upon like the splitting of signatures. So right now, I have how I have implemented is that when on block is called and a particular node is an aggregator, it basically looks into the block and sees that if there's any new attestation bits that are there. In case there is an additional attestation bit, it basically deconstructs it and reconstructs a proof and propagate it via gossip.
okay.
yeah, but that should not sort of block the interval. I mean,
Yeah,
it should happen
it's
in a parallel
async.
thread.
Yeah, it's async.
Okay.
And in the block proposer, then you also need to wait that if you started that and if it's not done, then your block proposer might not be able to propose because it might not be able to uh, get the same justified or finalized, right? That you might have got in the block.
So
on
it's
a separate
it's
fork.
not async in the block proposal path. It is async in the aggregation path. In the block proposal path, it has to merge all those signatures and the proposer signature to create the block proof. So it's not async there
Okay, if it's not async, but we
because I
still
thought
need to
that
we still need to, did we apply an assert where whenever we are constructing the block, we are at least getting the same justified and finalized that we have seen on the fork choice.
yeah. So that is there. I think
That is
that
there because if that is there and if you don't get same justified and finalized, your block proposal will fail, right?
yeah.
Okay, just re-verify this and make, and basically we need to figure out what to do with the block proposal if we had votes on a separate fork that moved the justified or finalized, and we have not been able to split and import it by the time the proposal comes up.
So
So,
as a block proposer, I am not doing that right now. I am just relying on aggregator to do the splitting and submitting the updated payload to me via gossip.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are saying that this is a job of aggregator to do that.
Yeah.
So when the block proposal is coming and you see there are new bits that you don't have, so you don't do anything at that point. You wait for some aggregator, and if you are that aggregator, to do that job at that particular point.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. And but what you can also do is that if you are an aggregator, then instead of waiting, for example, at least one more interval, you can start the splitting early on, right?
As soon as I receive a block, so I have added this logic on the on block function itself. It basically checks if there's a new, and it's like a async function, so it will continue to run asynchronously.
Right. So the question is that if we are not able to do the job till the point, I guess you will
Mhm.
reach a window and aggregator will not do anything. It will just
Okay, I am not skipping it right now, but yeah, I'll add that logic because it basically means that I am not in sync with the current chain, and I should like just skip the proposal itself.
not skip the proposal will be skipped if you are, for example, not able to get the justified and the finalized that is in fork choice. So you don't need to skip the proposal specially for it, because unless the justified and finalized moved, and your latest proposal does not has that, then only it should be skipped. Otherwise, it's fine, I guess.
Okay, got it. Okay, I'll add this logic. I'll verify if I
Yeah.
don't think I did it, so I'll just
You
verify.
just verify it on the code flow and see if this is the behavior that will be there. And I think maybe we can add some spec test or hype test that basically are in accordance with this particular behavior.
Hmm. Okay.
One question, Gajendra, the discussion during Wednesday's call on inclusion of execution layer into DevNet, is that planned from DevNet 5 or 6?
I don't think it's DevNet 6, but I think DevNet 5 testing will be long running and it will be a while. We'll have DevNet 6, but yes, it's DevNet 6.
Okay, so no change required on the tooling for that anyway right now. So just wanted to plan that.
Yeah, as of now, no tooling change required, but DevNet 6, if we want to take lead on it, as soon as we do DevNet 5, we can start working on DevNet 6 spec, because I
Okay.
think it's better to take the lead on it uh, and keep others chasing us as we have been doing
Sure.
before. So that will be a good idea, even though I think that DevNet 6 spec also might take longer because A lot of things will get introduced now, but also DevNet 5 testing needs to be on a bigger scale and more thorough. So things will stay DevNet 5 for a while, is my estimation. But again, if we have a DevNet 6 proposal, spec proposal, then it will be to our advantage that we are thinking ahead.
Okay. So, sorry, Anshul, the quick question is for DevNet 5, we still have this PQ heartbeat. Would that require a tooling change then?
No, the PQ heartbeat is out of DevNet 5.
Oh, it's not.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine.
I was
It's also
coming to
out of
that.
DevNet 6.
Okay.
So if we have like PQ heartbeat for DevNet 6, then we'll push the execution through execution integration to DevNet 7, or will we try to merge it?
So I think, from what I understand, I think let's do execution integration first and then do PQ heartbeat. Unless
Okay.
we have a clear proposal in mind, which I have not digged through properly, and maybe I'll have it if I go through it and put some cycles into it. But yes, I think for now, I guess DevNet 6 could be just execution integration.
So we need to define the entire engine API specification or whatever we need, or
It should be easy, but we can just do SSZ engine API, I guess.
okay,
I mean, engine API is not really a big deal. It's quite easy, but we might not be able to do engine SSZ engine API, which basically depends upon if execution clients support it or not, right? So that is also there.
right. So we will only be using the latest folk choice engine, not the previous one. We don't need to support the previous thing, right? I mean,
So we can say that, okay, this is the fork on which of the engine that we are doing it. Idea is to, yes, keep us up to date and in sync and in step with whatever is the latest fork on the engine API on the execution. So basically, we are always ready. So in that sense, I don't think there is any blocker in the current execution that we might not be able to integrate it without having some specific beacon consensus feature, because we'll be able to implement that in the lean consensus itself, right? So in that sense, I think it should not be a blocker, and we will just try to be in sync with the latest execution. But yes, we will go fork by fork on
Okay.
that and say that this DevNet is on this particular fork, and maybe on some later DevNet we will bump up the fork on the execution as well if there is a bump on execution fork, and we can easily upgrade it.
Okay.
All right, anything else we have to discuss?
No, not really.
All right, so let's do DevNet 5 implementation. Let's do DevNet for high validated account. Let's make sure one aggregator per subnet per client, and yeah, let's continue to optimize Zeam aggregator and Zeam hot paths. Yep, that is what we should be continuing to do.
Sounds good.
All right, guys, thanks for being in the call, and we'll see you on May 22. And before that,
Yeah.
on next Wednesday call.
Okay,
All right.
thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you.
Bye.